I'm Raven.
And I'm Faranir, and this is the podcast where we try to answer the question, can two creatives really break free from the 9-to-5 grind and find success in a more fulfilling creative life? It's been a while. If you guys have any questions or feedback on what's about to happen, then please email us at creativequestcontact@gmail.com. And we haven't said that for over a month because we have been away.
Yeah.
Mostly for good reasons, some for less good reasons. So we went to Bloodstock Festival, which is our favourite time of the year.
It was great.
It was amazing. Particularly good this year, I have to say. I loved every minute. It was perfect. It wasn't too hot, but the weather was just crisp, perfect, sunny. And we had a lovely time. But we did get ill on the way home. Well, you got ill on the way home. I got ill afterwards when she gave it to me.
Yeah, so we've not been around for a while, podcast-wise, house video-wise, and streaming-wise and Masterpiece Monday-wise, and everything else we do, because I got COVID from Bloodstock, and I am 99% sure the guy on the coach on the way home next to me is the guy who gave me it, because he was sniffling and spluttering and snotting the whole trip. It was 2.5 hours, and the whole time he was wiping his nose on his hand and then wiping it on his trousers, and you could see it was all gunky and gross, and it was just horrible. And cause, you want to coach, you can't walk around and move, and there wasn't many spaces. And then literally the next day, I started having a sore throat, and I was like, oh. I was hoping that it was just because we've been to a festival, because you normally get a sore throat from a festival because it's loud, and even if you're just chatting, you have to talk much louder, and so you strain your voice and you sing to everything. I was like, no, it's just that. And then all the other symptoms started to kick in, and then I was unwell. But I very quickly got very unwell, and my temperature was so high, and I basically was so poorly. I either couldn't sleep, or I was constantly just drifting out of lucidness. And I started hearing things as well. When my temperature was really high, I started hearing things. So I got a chest infection from having COVID, because I have quite fragile lungs. I'm a little fragile being. I'm like a little Victorian child. And so the coughing from COVID irritated my lungs. So then I got a chest infection. So that made me worse, and made my temperature worse. And then I had to have antibiotics. It's been a whole time. And then because Faranir was looking after me, I couldn't really distance myself, because you can't really distance yourself when you're in a relationship. Then you also got COVID. Yeah. Thankfully, no chest infection.
Nope.
But you still weren't
as bad.
Great. So it's why we might sound a little bit husky today. Our voice is 90% there. But I can feel, I don't know if I can just feel it more than I can hear it, but there's a slight little raspiness.
And there might be the occasional cough.
Well, hopefully we can just edit that out. We'll just cough,
we'll pretend
give
that
it a
happened.
minute to let any cough echo go.
Yeah.
And then continue. But yeah, otherwise, we're back to normal, and I am very sorry for making you poorly. But guy who was on the coach next to me...
Do better next time.
Do better. If you're poorly, and you don't have to sit next to someone, and they try to sit next to you, just say, "Excuse me, I'm so sorry, sir, madam, whoever you are. I'm quite poorly, and I would not like to make you poorly as well." And they'll be cool, fine, thanks for letting me know. Mm-hmm. Do not be yes, here is a plentiful empty seat for you to sit in.
No.
But it's fine, because we're okay now.
Exactly. We're okay now. We're back in action.
Our immune systems will be better and stronger for winter COVID. Whoop, whoop. So
the best. Get it out of the way now.
To be fair, we've been to so many conventions and concerts and events and all sorts, and travelled and been on loads of trains and coaches and buses and everything. And we've only had, this is our second time having COVID. We got it, ironically, at Bloodstock in 2021.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
But with everything we've been to and done, we haven't caught it again. So,
that's it.
I'm pretty lucky.
That's fair. So, with that out of the way, we're back in action.
Yeah.
We've had some time to catch up on things over the last few days. We're really excited to get this done, because we haven't done one for a good few weeks now, probably a month. I've missed it. It's our way of not just, sharing what we've learned what to do and what not to do, and any mistakes we've learned from, things like that. But our way of keeping ourselves, motivated, and what's the word I'm thinking of? Oh no, I've got the perfect word in my head. Keeping ourselves, because they, accountable. Keeping ourselves accountable, so it's always really helpful. It keeps us on point and on track to keep going. So I have missed it. So it's good to be back.
It's a good opportunity for us to check in, because obviously we're doing all these things, everything's happening, but it's very easy to not acknowledge that it's happening and what has happened. It's so especially when this is happening one thing after the other, it's hard to remember everything that's happening. So by doing this, it's also our time to sit and reflect on what's happened in those 2 weeks, 4 weeks, however long it is. It's good.
It makes
it's
things
nice.
stick.
Yeah, it makes it all a bit more memorable and appreciative of how far we've come.
Exactly, absolutely. So with that, you just said the perfect words. How far we've come. We've got a bit of a milestone to share, and I'm really excited for this one. I'm going to pass this one on to you. This one's all yours.
The relief of saying these next words. You'll be next. You'll be soon.
Won't be far behind.
The whole point of the creative quest is to see if we can quit the 9-to-5 grind. And my friends, I have been able to quit the 9-to-5 grind.
Whoop, whoop. Preach.
I have been able to quit my incredibly toxic job that was making me so unhappy, so drained, so just any energy, passion, interest, creativity was being absolutely tanked by this job. And it was a job that I was doing for 5.5-ish years. So it hadn't started out really bad, but it had gotten bad over the years. And the past 2 years were particularly bad. Because we used to do a lot more together, and just this job is it just drained, took out everything. So that has been such a huge relief. I was actually signed off sick from work start of July because of the impact it was having on me. I was just so drained that I literally went and had blood tests and stuff done to make sure that it wasn't anything else. And me and the doctor had a long conversation on the phone, and he was just your job is literally why you're having symptoms of being unwell, physically unwell. So that was the real eye-opener. I already knew it was bad, and I already knew that as soon as I could leave I would be, but this little sit down I was oh, actually this is getting pretty bad. So I've been able to leave, and that is wonderful. However, that does leave a gap in income, which meant that technically we were only a one-income household, and we've just bought a house, which is very expensive because it has lots of building work to do. So that's very stressful, and we have lots of things coming up, which is very stressful. So the second part of this tale is that I believe it was last episode, but I've mentioned it before. I have spoken about having a second part-time job, and that part-time job was working in politics, and I have loved it so much. It's been working in marketing and design, stuff that I do anyway, but it's just been something I've really loved with people I love and get along with really well. It's just been something that I wouldn't have thought of doing, but having the opportunity to do it, I've been oh my god, this is my calling. This is what I love doing. So a job position opened for that part-time sort of on the side freelance role to become permanent. And I went for a job interview. Me and Faranir actually applied jointly together for the job interview. And the whole time it sounded not safe that we'd get it, but a very good chance because it's based on experience. And I'd been doing this job for almost 2 years. So I was realistically, who would have more experience? So I got a phone call the day we got to Bloodstock and we just set up the tent saying that we didn't get the job. And we had begun to kind of plan, not like set in stone, but we really thought that like one of us at least would get it. And that would mean, at this point, I hadn't quit my job yet. So it would have been like safe to quit my job, would have got a new job, all the things would have fallen into place. So this really like hit our plan moving forward. And I was like, God, you know, I don't want to have to return to my horrible day job. I was like, because it drained me so much. And I'd finally begun to actually think about the reality of being able to leave. Like, it wasn't just an idea, it was something that was physically possible to do.
And very close.
Yeah. So, you know, we had a little cry over it. We were like, you know what? Wasn't meant to be. That's okay. You know, it's fine. The day after we got home, we sat down and began to plan our next steps in this whole creative quest, because we were like, we acknowledged that the situation we were in couldn't continue, like work-wise, and something would have to give. As this conversation started, I got a phone call from the people I was working for, and I thought they were probably just going to like check in with me and make sure everything was okay, because they knew I'd gone on holiday and stuff. The person they'd offered the job to didn't accept it. And they asked if I would want it instead. And I literally was trying to be like so professional on the phone whilst literally jumping around my room. Like I'm not a very active, sporty person, but I was physically jumping. So I was like, yes, I'll take it. I don't care what the like, you know, the rules of it are. Like, I'll just take it. So that has meant that in the past 2 weeks, I have been able to quit my horrible day job, primary job. And I have been able to get a dream job, really. And that's permanent. Obviously, there's like a probation period, like with any job, but otherwise it's permanent. And the best part of it is that it's part-time, but still well paid. So because it's part-time, it means I'm freed up to do all of the things that we have been talking about on this podcast and planning to do. So I can do more creative work, I can do streaming, I can do arts and crafts, I can do video editing, I can do cosplay making and planning, and like my design work, my marketing work, my freelance, like even with us moving house and like having to begin to decorate within the next kind of month, it means that I will have time to paint and help decorate things and be there for like, you know, when things are delivered and stuff. Because at the moment, I've been working 9 to 5 and I've not been able to do anything other than be at a desk from 9 to 5. So this frees up like so many possibilities and opportunities and just so much. It is still technically a 9 to 5. So I'm working 2 days a week and a half day that are 9 to 5. But it will be back in an office, which I've missed so much because I've been working from home for like 4 years now. And though I enjoy hybrid work, it's only been from home. And there's been no communication, no teamwork, nothing like that. And I've really missed it. So it's actually going to be nice for me to be able to go into an office and not have to work at home, because like where I'm sat now is normally where I have to work, and it's hard sometimes to switch that mindset from going from work to then like streaming and being like kind of fun and positive, especially with the job that I had. So actually I'm happy that I can go somewhere to work and then I can come home and that is like separate from everything else that I'm doing. So overall, it's been a very, very hectic couple of weeks. I've left a job, got a job, had COVID and chest infection in the same 2 weeks.
It's been nuts.
And if you look at it in the same 2 months, I have done those 4 things and got a house.
Yep. Wild.
And started all the building work on it.
Wild. So understandably, we've missed a couple of episodes.
We've missed, you know, it would have been nice. We had full intentions of, when we got back from Bloodstock, doing an episode like the next day. That was fully the plan, because at this point I hadn't been offered the job yet, and we were going to talk about things not going the way that you plan and having to kind of think on your feet and be flexible, which still applies because I couldn't, there's no guarantee that I was going to get it. I'm very, very lucky that I did. And there's still the whole probation period, like you just don't know. But for now, it's there and it's, you know, it's a foot in the door. It's the start of the next step, and it's no longer something which we are just, you know, hypothetically planning in and thinking about. It's something that's very physical and happening now. So it's nice to be on that side of it rather than just kind of planning it out and saying, you know, in an ideal world,
Dreaming.
this is what would happen. But it's actually
not a dream anymore.
the relief of leaving my day job is just it's so immense. It's so immense. I can't.
Oh,
It's just.
I'm so happy
I
for
like
you.
when I had because I had like 4 weeks off sick, and one of my friends was literally like, not that I seemed like a different person, but she was like, you seem so much more like happier and well, and just like your complexion looks better, like your eyes look better, like you don't look kind of like, you know, worn and like broken anymore. And I was like, yeah.
And the sleep score went way up.
Oh my god, yeah, because I've got a Fitbit. So like all year, my average sleep is like 6.5 hours, sometimes 7, which isn't awful, but it's also not good. And then the month that I had time off sick and then left, it goes up to 8.5 hours. But I'm still like getting up and doing loads. It's not like I'm just like sleeping all day. Like I've very much had a normal routine.
Yeah.
Really. I've not slept past, like, the only time I slept in was when I was literally being really unwell. Otherwise, I've been like up same time as you every day for work.
Yeah, done very well.
So it's not even like I've just kind of gone like, oh, you know, whatever, I'm just going to play games all day.
So
I've been
you're just
doing
actually
times.
sleeping when you should be.
Actually sleeping. And the quality of that sleep is better, because I've had the same window of sleep, because you've had work, so we've had to go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time. But I've not been like constantly waking up and having light sleep. I've actually gone to bed and gone to sleep and stayed asleep. It's just like, I haven't done that in like literally years. I felt much better for it. So everything's on the up. It's
falling
so
into
good.
place.
It's a bit, you know, it's a bit stressful. It's a bit imposter syndrome-y, because I'm like, you know, because I didn't get it first time, I'm like, well, I'm kind of second best. And it's a bit, you know. But I'm also like, I can just prove that I am the best. Hopefully, you know.
Well.
Do a few courses here and there. Just make sure that because I think the reason I didn't get it was because I don't have any journalism skills, which is fair enough. You do need that in that kind of marketing work. But I can get them.
Absolutely. Now you've got all the time in the world to polish up.
Figure it out. So yeah, it's all good.
It's all coming up roses.
And you are next.
I'm next.
You're next.
Won't be far behind.
No.
Got to keep things rolling, but we'll get there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like having that income secured now, it means that we're not in sort of panic mode for a bit. It's still, you know, it's safe to move things around.
Just got to get through the next few months, and then we'll have a lot of
because we've got a
chance
lot
for wiggle
coming
room.
up. We've got like a big holiday and stuff. So I mean, I'm very lucky that I got this job when I did, but we probably shouldn't both try and move jobs.
No,
Before
not that quick. I think from January onwards, we're pretty smooth sailing. Got a couple of little gigs here and there, but once the expense of the holidays and Christmas are out of the way, you don't have to worry about it.
realised in February we're going to go see the Night Flight Orchestra, which if you haven't heard of the Night Flight Orchestra, one of the best bands ever. Amazing music, such a good vibe and time. If you're in a bad mood, put on the Night Flight Orchestra and you will feel better straight away.
Oh, I feel happy just thinking about one of the songs right now.
Honestly. But 2 weeks later, we've got Yumi at 6.
Yeah, that's both February, isn't it?
Which I'm also ecstatic for. See, I was looking at the dates for it and I was like, oh my god, that's going to be such a good
That's
month.
a good one. Yeah.
So,
Happy days.
speaking of having more time
Oh, yeah.
and all the achievements we've had the past few months,
Uh-huh.
do you want to have a little chat about the house?
Absolutely. So, we bought a house. We told you that last time.
We
And
bought a
it's-
house.
It's we told you it had a lot of work to do. And it turns out we got it very wrong. We have far more work to do than we ever imagined, because we have a constant problem where, let's say, we take down the wallpaper and we realise the wall is blown and crumbling, and we have to take the wall down and rebuild the wall and re-render the wall and replaster the wall. And this has happened for like every room. We knew we had it in the bedroom. There was one wall in there that was particularly bad from day one, and we were like, yeah, okay, we've got to repair this wall. But we didn't realise it would be every single wall. And then it got worse when we had a similar problem with the ceilings. So we've had to take down all the ceilings and rebuild those. But it's all gone through pretty quick, honestly.
I just counted in my head. If you looked at our house in terms of rooms, but you included the loft and the hallways as like rooms, there's 10 separate areas of the house. Of those 10 areas, 8 of them have had to have the walls and ceilings redone.
Oh dear.
8 of them.
Is that including the living room?
No, because that's not had to be started yet. That's what I mean.
But
so
it
that's,
will be.
That's why it's 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Because the bathroom and the living room haven't had to have anything done to them. Technically, the bathroom has had a new ceiling.
So yeah, even that.
So 9 out of 10 rooms.
And the living room's going to be the last one to do because
We've got to hope that the living room is a pristine,
it's not
perfect.
going to be.
It was done the month before we moved in.
Sure it was. Tune in to our next episode to find out if we reach 10 out of 10 rooms that have had to have new ceilings. I've got a funny feeling it will be, but we'll see.
We thought only 3 rooms needed being doing. That was the kitchen, a small back room, and the bedroom. The bedroom was really obviously needing TLC. But yeah, like Faranir said, every time wallpaper has been moved, the whole wall and ceiling behind it, all the ceilings were wallpapered.
Yeah, that was the problem, wasn't it? Like, you
so
couldn't see the state of them underneath. As soon as you take the paper off, it's like, oh, damn, this has got to go.
They're all really bad. And the worst room, like value-wise, is the office, because the 2 walls in that room out of the 4 are bad, and then all of the ceiling is bad. And in some cases, you could have patched it, but because that room's going to have literally thousands of pounds worth of equipment and figures and collectibles in it, and it's going to have lots hanging from the walls and the ceilings, you don't want walls and ceilings that are just patched up. You want ones that can like hold heavy equipment and be steady. So things like that have been like really important that we fix to like a proper standard rather than just patching over it cheaply. Like, it's been worth, even though it's cost a lot more, it's worth the pain of it.
Definitely.
Because the last thing we want is to hang something from the ceiling or to walk on the loft boards above it and for it to fall down onto all of our computers and
my guitars.
And
my guitars, please.
And our Final Fantasy figures.
Yeah.
Like, it's a pain at the moment. It's a pain, but that would be so much worse.
Yeah.
So every time I have to pay the builders, I just remind myself that at least the ceiling isn't falling down.
Exactly.
On our like £2,500 PC.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
bear thinking about, is it?
No.
So it's been a big job. And if you want to see exactly how big a job, we have been recording it and turning it into a lovely little video series on YouTube. And the first episode is up already. And that one kind of covers the state from the beginning, well, pretty much the beginning. We'd had a very small bit of work done before we filmed that one. But that shows you a tour of the house and what condition everything's in at the beginning.
Yeah.
And today we went back to the house and filmed another episode. So we go on a updated tour to see all the progress that's been made since in like the 4 or 5 weeks since we last recorded. We go every week and we get little clips and photos to, keep on top of all the changes each week, because if you only go like once a month, there's such a difference. You miss so many bits in between.
Yeah,
So,
it's kind of hard to make an episode every week because sometimes there's not massive changes and then suddenly loads of changes happen. So we try and like just record every time something big happens and then... I mean, we were going to do ones, normally we'd wanted to do it every 3 to 4 weeks. This one's had to be 4 to 5 weeks because of us being unwell. Like, neither of us were well enough to go up to the house at all. And we also didn't want to give it to the builders or anything.
And our voices were terrible, so we couldn't record anything.
I had to whisper only until, I want to say, like 4 days ago. Like, I couldn't make sound. I had to whisper. It wasn't by choice because it was painful. I had to whisper.
I've never had such peace and quiet. It was brilliant. Really kidding.
I remember that one.
Yeah, I bet you will.
Got it on video.
I regret it already.
You should. So yeah, we were going to do it slightly sooner. This one's taken a little bit longer, but hopefully the next ones will be within like 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, definitely.
And we can film more between times. This one was just like a little bit unfortunate with bloodstock, and then...
Yeah, bad timing. But it's fine. We've got it now. We're all up to date. So make sure you pop over to our YouTube channel and subscribe to that. Have a little look and catch up. Leave any comments and follow us for the ride, because it's a big companion piece to what we do here.
Yeah.
Because all of this is building to us doing our own creative work all the time. And this house is going to be a major part of that. Because once we get this studio room set up, there's nothing holding us back. Suddenly we won't have any limitations, any restrictions. We'll be able to do all the things we've been dreaming of for the last year. And we are so excited to get going. So, yep, join us over there and watch those videos. We'll be adding a new one pretty soon.
That's like a part of this whole wild thing, is that we started looking for a house about 2 years ago. And we started looking more seriously start of last year. This is when we started applying for like pre-approved mortgages and actually going to house viewings rather than just trying to figure out what we wanted and what we could afford. Like, this is when we started setting aside time and effort and money to go and do these sorts of things. So we spent ages trying to even find a house. Like, it was just impossible. Like, where we live, I mean, to be honest, the housing market is awful everywhere, but where we live is like particularly bad because it's quite a tourist destination, so it's really tough. Lots of Airbnbs and stuff to compete with.
Yeah.
So we finally found a house, and then we had to wait 6 months to get it because of complications on the seller's side and stuff. And it was just like one thing after another. And during all of this time, so like last August, we had to move our office and our bedroom into one room. And that meant we had to take apart like our whole office setup, which we'd like made really nice. And it was meant to be very much like a temporary solution. So mine and Faranir's clothing is literally in like boxes and bin bags. Like, most of our stuff is in boxes and bin bags and suitcases, because it was meant to be a very temporary move whilst building work was done on parts of where we currently live. And we've been in this room for a year now with our stuff still in like bin bags and boxes.
Mental.
And we've just been in like a constant state of like waiting for this, waiting for that, and not being able to do anything about it. We couldn't change the living situation. We couldn't make the house go through any faster. I was waiting on a pay rise. I was told repeatedly I'd be getting a pay rise. It didn't happen. It was pushed back, and then told it wouldn't happen at all.
Yeah.
You were meant to get improvements at your work, which haven't happened.
Never
like
came.
It's just been so much waiting in our life that has been totally out of our control. And then literally in 2 months, like, all of it's changing in one go.
Yeah.
Like, and it's kind of hard to process and deal with, because it's just like so much in one go that it's like, can you just happen one at a time, please? Like, it's just, you know, like, I've only just started dealing with this thing and now you're telling me this is happening as well. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's all falling into place very quickly, but it's an exciting time.
Expensively for the house as well, but you know.
Yeah, that's it. But we're making the best of it.
So the next thing that we've been doing is Twitch maintenance, which I swear we mention this every single podcast episode. We need to do stuff on Twitch.
Every time.
We finally had the same hour together where we weren't either working or poorly or editing or some other ailment going on. And we finally went through and we made a list of all the things we had to do on Twitch. So all of the banners and emotes and all, you know, all the stuff we had to make. And then I was able to actually start making them. So I think I made like 10 to 12 new emotes / alerts. And we've been able to start turning them into files that can actually be uploaded to Twitch, because for some reason Twitch, what is it? It was like an MPEG or something. It's something
I can't
weird.
remember. We had some weird format issue.
Twitch wants a very specific file that like everything doesn't offer unless you add in an extension for it to do it for some reason. I don't know. So I've made them in like one software, and we've changed them into the correct one using Premiere Pro and Chroma keys, and maybe we'll go over that one time sometime in detail. But anyway, they've finally been made, so they can be uploaded now, which is really, really good. And in addition to that, we've added a tip jar asset, which is able to give a sort of visual representation of all of the cheers, follows, and subscriptions, etc., that we get on screen. So if you're not familiar with Twitch, people can send bits, which are like actual physical money, to you. They can also cheer, so they can earn, like, the more they watch, the more they earn little like cheer amounts, and then they can use that as well. And every time someone like follows or subscribes, it's basically a way to like measure every single interaction. So you literally have like a tip jar on screen, and every time someone does that kind of engagement, something physically goes into the jar so that you can see it. So it's just a good way for people to like engage with your stream and like see what impact they've had. It's just, it's cute.
Makes it a bit more dynamic, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a nice little detail.
And I've been very busy with more editing. Once again, more Mario episodes. God, it's gone on forever. I think the first one went up in, February?
Yeah.
It's been a long process. But there's only 2 episodes left now. I'm pretty sure it was just the 2 left. Our recent episode covered the final showdown with the last world, and then we've got 2 episodes left on the way that will cover the bonus levels, the super hard stuff. And then it's all done. It's been a really huge project, really, and I've learned a lot from doing it, in terms of workflow, in terms of what works and what doesn't. And now that we're getting near the end of it, I've been kind of assessing that, and I've got some little takeaways from it to share while we're here. It's been a mixed bag in terms of performance. So as far as shorts go, it has been fantastic. So we've been able to pump out 2 shorts a week from it for like the last 6 months. We have a very steady stream of content for YouTube Shorts and TikTok, which has done us wonders for views. They've both been steadily growing on both of those platforms, which is really good. We have an average of about 400 plus on YouTube, normally more, but that's about the average, and 700 plus on TikTok, which is, again, on both grown steadily all the way through. So it's really helpful. It means we've always got something to put out without having to worry about, making something new. It's just there, pre-built, ready to go from the episode I've already cut. But the episodes themselves have not done well. They've done particularly badly, honestly. 2 of the latest episodes, 24 and 25, did really well back to back. 2 weeks in a row we did really well, and they had our top views ever. But that was still only about 33 views. And 33 is a weirdly magic number, it seems, because our house renovation video, 33 views. Our Comic-Con haul video, 33 views. I don't know why. We seem to get to 33 views and then just stop. And, nobody's making money on 33 views, so we have to get past that figure.
To add, we aren't sharing every time we make a video with, friends and family, and there's, about 30 of them, and 3 are, algorithm ones. We don't really push it anywhere to people, directly in our lives. Not for, a specific reason, but because we want to see the impact it has naturally in the algorithm. So once it's been a few days, we'll say, here's the new house video, or here's the Comic-Con haul or whatever. But we aren't starting this process by saying, hey, mum, brother, sister, best friend, here's, this. This is naturally what's happening, and it's still the same every time. And not all of the videos are even sent to people that we know.
No.
There's only a couple of the house one. A lot of our friends are interested in the house, so we did send that to quite a few people. But most of the other ones, we've just let them do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And it's still the same,
It's
which
weird.
is what's weird.
Just seems to hit 33.
Yeah.
So we need to get past that. We've got one video that did do way better. That hit 313, and that was Raven's lovely art review video that she did a while back. But that one doesn't count because we put ad money behind it. So it's not a fair comparison on that one, unfortunately.
Unless we just do another one with ad money.
Well, that's going to be the answer, isn't it? Absolutely. We definitely need to do more. It was good fun experimenting with that, and it definitely got good results. So we will be pushing some more, because naturally they just don't seem to get past that threshold of 33 at the moment. So maybe we'll talk about that next time as well. We'll put a few pounds here and there on some of the other ones and see if it makes a difference.
I want to do more art videos.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing.
I
You definitely
have
have
time
to.
for more art videos.
Yeah, baby.
That's the other thing. Is normally my desk has to be in work mode Monday to Friday. So it's really hard to film things on my desk between Monday and Friday because of how much stuff I've had to have for work on my desk. But now I've got an office and it's only part-time, I can have my desk back and I can make things. It's going to be so
What a time
good.
to be alive.
It's going to be so good.
It will.
So good.
And that takes me on to my next point. So over the coming months, as we set up the new studio space and the new house, we'll be able to improve our quality and the range of the content that we can create, and that's something we're absolutely excited for. We cannot wait. But when we do that, we'll be really focusing on breaking through and finding out which content is going to perform the best for us to help increase our audience size and hopefully smash that 33 view limit so that our longer videos, the one that take far longer to make, actually do better. Because so far, the shorts do really well every time. We always get good results with those.
Weird, isn't it?
But the long ones, it's just much harder to get people to watch them. And it's not like, the full video. It's hard to get people to even stop and look, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a tricky one. So yeah, we'll be really focusing on that as we move forward. And one of the other main takeaways that I've got is looking back way to the beginning now, is when we started streaming on Twitch, we were like, we really need to get more people to watch on Twitch. So we'll make some YouTube videos and that will help, transfer people over to Twitch and boost our followers on there. But honestly, it doesn't work like that at all. It's barely made a difference. And that is one of the most shocking takeaways. So I've really got to point that out after about almost a year of doing this now, is that we've had, I think last time I checked, about 28,000 views on YouTube now. Which is actually really good, and I'm really happy with that. But that has not made a difference on Twitch whatsoever. So somehow converting people between these two platforms is a real challenge.
I was thinking about this earlier, and I was thinking about what my own personal habits are for watching content. So, for example, I watch some YouTubers called Yogscast, who are gamers. They've been going for like 15 years now. I exclusively watch their YouTube. They have a weekly Twitch schedule which has a wider variety of content than their YouTube has. I never watch them. And they don't only stream during times that I'm working. They stream like in the evenings, on weekends. I never watch it. Me and you both follow Evan and Caitlin. We love their content. We are always wanting more of their content.
Yep.
Do we check when they're streaming? Never.
Nope.
Never. Occasionally when we check our phones, we'll be like, oh, Evan and Caitlin are streaming. But we maybe only watch that every 1 in 5 times of noticing.
We are part of the problem.
But that's what I mean. It's a different kind of audience.
Yeah, for sure.
However, when like Rowan streams, I'll always join him if I have time.
Yeah.
So it's a different kind of interaction. And I think, I don't know how we do it, but we need to outline the differences in those groups of people.
Yep.
What is the appeal difference between people on YouTube versus Twitch, and what kind of content are they looking for? Because I don't watch the Twitch streams of creators that I love, that I have watched for over a decade. Even with Evan and Caitlin, I've watched them for at least like 6 years, and I never watched their Twitch.
No,
I just thought that was interesting, because I was thinking about exactly that, and then I was like, I am literally part of the problem.
Yeah.
I don't do it myself. But I can't explain why.
No, it's odd, isn't it?
Because I would like more content, and yet I don't know what it is.
No.
I don't know what it is. So yes, that's just something we can talk about more at some point, is that outlining the difference and why it happens and how we can combat it.
That's it. It's one to tackle in the months ahead for sure.
It's going to be a big one for sure.
That's it. We've got growth in our minds now with everything we're doing over the next few months in the studio. So that's it. That's our main focus. So that's all good. We have actually been really productive this week. And as a little extra bonus, I attended my first dog show as a photographer the other day. It was on Monday, and I had the absolute best time. I love dogs. I love animals. As I've talked about before, I've done a horse show before. That was really good. But this dog show was so nice. I had a wonderful time using my lovely new Sigma 150mm to 600mm zoom lens, and it was beautiful. It was a really hot sunny day. I forgot my sun cream, so I am very red under here, which is why the hat's on today. But it was worth it. It was worth it. It was a village fun day in the village that I grew up in, so I did it for free as a little hometown, bit of a hometown bonus. Show the love to my old friends and family. Saw lots of old familiar faces. It's a shame you couldn't come with me because you were still too ill that day.
Yeah, on Monday I was still rough. And the walk to where you used to live is entirely uphill.
It is. It's pretty much a mountain, isn't it, honestly?
It's just up.
Yeah, it's very high.
There is no plateau point. It is up.
Yeah, that one really hurt my lungs. I was not in good form that day myself.
I was still on antibiotics that day, so yeah.
It's a shame.
But next time.
Definitely. It was really nice. Got loads of nice shots out of it. I've had loads of nice feedback, so it was really rewarding. So happy with that. But that's everything we've been up to. Now let's very quickly skip through what we're doing next because we have already overrun just a little bit so far.
To be fair, we hadn't done an episode for like 5 weeks, so...
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. We can go for another hour, I reckon.
Cram everything. We've done pretty well considering.
Yeah.
There's been a lot happening.
For sure, there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Cool. So what are we doing next? We are producing some shorts for our house renovation episode 1. So the main episode is up, but we want to take some little short highlights from that to use on TikTok and YouTube. I think that would be really helpful.
Since it works for Mario, makes sense to do it for the house.
Exactly that. And hopefully we can hit some viral magic and make our millions before the next episode. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? So we've got that coming up. We've also got clips from Bloodstock. We filmed loads at Bloodstock, but then, of course, we got home and were really ill, so we were too ill to do anything with it. So we've got those videos in our backlog. So we'll be working on those, seeing if we can get anything nice out of those. We've got House Renovation Episode 2. We've got to edit that. We filmed that today, so we'll be working on that. That's in the pipeline. We'll finish uploading the new alerts for Twitch. So they were all made the other day. We've got as far as putting them into Premiere Pro and making those ready to go. We just need to export them and upload them now. And what about you?
I have to start my Masterpiece Monday streams again because I have not done one. If I missed, not tomorrow's, the day after's, that would be 5 weeks. So I've missed like four. I've missed 4 of them, which is crazy because I've never missed that many since I started doing them.
No.
And it was literally because like the Monday before Bloodstock, we were like packing and stuff, so I couldn't do that day. And then every Monday since we got back, I have been like incredibly unwell, so I just couldn't do them.
No.
So this Monday, I am well enough. I shall be masterpiecing once more. Very, very excited for that. I think I'm going to be painting some little clay cat charms for some upcoming jewelry ideas and projects and crafty bits and bobs. So we'll stay tuned on that.
Sounds good.
A potential new little hobby. So that's going to be good. And then we've got the September coming up in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, which is 30% off of Twitch subscriptions throughout September, which is very, very good. So we've got to hit the most of that because there was recently a bonus on the Final Fantasy streams that people were watching extra Final Fantasy 14 streams for like some rewards you could get through Twitch, and we missed all of it because of all the hecticness in our life, which is very, very sad. So hopefully we can jump on the back of this and get the most out of that. And then it's just planning upcoming ideas and hobbies and crafts and all the moves that are going to happen in the new studio room.
Absolutely.
Kind of start planning and prepping for that. What my next steps freelance-wise are going to be. Because though I will be earning enough with my part-time job, it still would be nice to do freelance and all those other little bits that we've had planned. So start making them real plans instead of hypothetical plans.
Definitely. Get some hardcore research done.
What about you?
Make some shopping lists. I will be finishing up the last 2 Mario episodes and moving on to the next projects. So we've got a few things recorded and ready to go that we can make use of. The Minecraft one is the big one. So we've got a fair few episodes of that already recorded and edited into episode frameworks. And they're ready for like some hardcore editing now, which I know Raven's going to be helping with.
Yes.
She is the Minecraft connoisseur. And really looking forward to those. So yeah, we'll be looking at those and cracking on. But it'll be nice to not have to think about Mario each week anymore. It'll be nice to move on. We're going to make a list of games that we'd like to stream in the future. Because we've got a lot of streams coming up.
Bash Bots. Bish Bash
We can't
Bots.
just keep playing Bish Bash Bots.
That's the best game. I love it. This is so much fun.
Sorry, go on.
Do you know what's mad?
What's mad?
We played that over Christmas.
Yeah.
Over
It's almost
Christmas.
a year ago.
It's August.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
Wild.
We had like a couple of days off over Christmas and we played that game
did.
every day, all day.
Crazy.
Do you know what we should stream?
What?
That puzzle game. The fighter one.
Oh, that could be a little laugh. I
Love
don't think
that.
anyone would watch it, but it would be a laugh for
It's
us.
the best game ever. Best game ever. But yes, we've got a lot of games that we want to play. Some single player, some multiplayer, like loads of stuff. We've got the new Final Fantasy expansion, and then there's also things like once we've moved, we can do more of like the Lego building, all the kind of cosplay craft stuff, all those sorts of things we can film as well. So there's like loads of content coming up. So the more existing content we can get edited and done, the better, because it means that once we move into that, we can just start making all that new stuff quite quickly.
Definitely. So we've got some busy times ahead.
Yes.
So let's wrap up with our favourite question. What was the highlight of your fortnight?
Leaving my day job has been one of the highlights of my year. That was so good.
I bet it felt real good.
The relief, being able to send that letter, just so good. And then also getting a permanent role in a dream job as well is also really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that the anti-highlight of my fortnight was having COVID and chest infection.
Yeah.
That was not on my cards, and I did not appreciate it.
Nope.
So lungs, do better next time. Come on. Let the team down. But otherwise, I mean, to be honest, I spent most of the past fortnight unwell. But out of that unwell time, the job stuff was pretty...
That's a pretty major highlight, isn't it?
Pretty peak. Yeah,
Couldn't make it
pretty
up.
good. And my new hair.
Yeah.
It's very, very vibrant.
It's very
pink
vibrant on this
especially is
camera.
like... It's amazing.
It is so bright.
It's very, very bright. So yes, they are all good things. What was the highlight of your fortnight?
My highlight was finally seeing Opeth. Oh, absolute magic.
Moment of silence for the wonders.
Think about it every day. I've loved that band for like 20 years now, and since 2011 they've really changed direction, and I haven't really been into it, but I've always loved to go back and listen to their old stuff. And this set list was voted for by the people at the festival, so we all got to vote, and obviously being heavy metal folk, we're all going to vote for the old stuff, and they even made a joke about that when they came out. But it meant that they played all of like my old favourite classic songs and pretty much none of the new stuff that I don't like, so it was perfect. Couldn't have dreamed for more. I've never seen them before somehow, but this made it absolutely worthwhile, and they were the headliners on the Friday night, and it was just the absolute best. Absolutely loved it. Perfect festival weekend, honestly, from start to finish, apart from the, job drama at the beginning.
Yeah.
That was a big down on the Thursday.
The start was us not getting the job, which meant me not being able to leave my horrible job after we had kind of accepted and acknowledged the idea of being able to actually leave. And then it ended with me getting COVID. But between those two moments, great time.
Definitely.
Great food.
Yeah, the food this year was absolutely amazing.
I accidentally bought half a chicken.
That was hilarious. I'll insert the picture here, don't you worry.
Yeah.
So funny.
That was too much food.
That was so funny.
I tried so hard to eat as much as I could.
Such a mess as well. Gravy
It's
everywhere.
not good food for a festival. You know. Gravy
So
at a
inconvenient.
festival, come on. No.
No.
But otherwise...
Yeah. Chili salt
Great.
chicken, extra spicy this
And
year, but really nice.
the iced coffee, the frappe things in the morning.
Yeah.
They were elite.
They were amazing.
I hope they come back.
Definitely.
Because that was perfect breakfast.
Yeah.
But yes, otherwise, even though it was difficult either side, the actual time at Bloodstock was brilliant. Really good this year.
Yep.
Good weather, good time, good people, good music.
Perfect.
Keen for next year.
Absolutely. Can't wait. Already bought our tickets, in fact. Already done. Because the lineup is that good. Emperor, Machine Head, Trivium, done. Black
no.
Dahlia Murder, 3 Inches of Blood, Breed 77.
Don't know, they sound all kind of like terrible bands.
Oh, shut up, you.
Overhyped.
You have no taste. That's why you're with me.
You take that back.
She is definitely going to hit
You
me for
take
that one
that
later. Sorry, I take it back. Ow, don't pinch me.
Don't say nasty things about yourself like that. I have
Just
brilliant
kidding.
taste because I'm with you.
You do. You're the best.
You're the best.
So, with that, we'll leave you and we'll be back in 2 weeks.
2
weeks.
If we are not here in 2 weeks, call missing persons or something because something bad's happened.
It's a promise. We'll definitely be here in 2 weeks. We can't get ill again. We have no more festivals coming up.
Neurovirus is going round.
Well, don't jinx
But
it, Jesus.
I have never caught a sick bug ever, and I've been on people who have sick bugs, so
That's
hopefully that doesn't happen.
So, 2 weeks. Back on a steady schedule now. No more dramas. So that's it. Thanks for joining. Thanks for listening. It's been an extra long one this week to cover some missed ground over the last few weeks, but we're all back up to date now and on a steady schedule from here on. So once again, if you have any questions or any topics you want us to cover, anything like that, any feedback in general, email us at creativequestcontact@gmail.com or leave a comment on the YouTube channel. And we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and Twitch as well if you have that. We'd love to see you there as well because it's way more fun than just listening on podcasts because you get to see all this wonderful hair colour we've got going on over here.
It's pretty
You get to see how much longer my beard is each time as well, which is probably even more exciting than the hair colour.
To be fair, I did trim it the other day.
You did, but
I should overlap screenshots of your beard over the past 16 episodes and just slowly see it going.
Time lapse.
That's great.
Sounds good. So again, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
See you later.